Joining me now is someone who was inside the room as all of this was playing out. Faith Pinhu is the White House reporter, excuse me, for the LA Times. Faith, I bet you didn't think your Friday would be a little bit like this.
I know, it was a good day to have a strong breakfast this morning. It was
there you go.
Quite a day, and we're grateful it's Friday.
All right, so look, you've been in the Oval before. When I used to cover the White House, I was in the Oval a bunch. It's different, right? It's just different being in the Oval when all of this is playing out and you're there next to world leaders. As this was happening, Faith, what were you thinking in real time watching all of this play out?
Yeah, well, I was on pool duty today, which means that I was responsible for sending out briefings and notes as the event was going on to the rest of the press corps across the world, right? And so as I was holding in one hand a phone recording what was going on, and then my other hand I was holding another phone trying to rapidly take notes and tell people this is crazy what's happening right here. And meanwhile in the back of my head just taking in this incredible scene as it was playing out live.
It's wild because that's exactly what happens. You're there, and you have the responsibility of alerting your colleagues, oh my gosh, this is going on, while also trying to figure out and listen to everything that's happening. So when they started going back and forth with each other in the moment, what was that like?
Yeah, I mean, most of the meeting was fairly complimentary. Obviously,
the first 40 minutes.
President Trump was right for a long time. They were talking, and they had slight disagreements where, President Trump would say, "Oh well, this happened," and President Zelenskyy would be like, "Oh well, not quite like that," but very mild compared to what was coming. And then the conversation really took a turn when Vice President J.D. Vance stepped in and he said, "Mr. President, let me take this," and he turned to the Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelenskyy and said, "It's disrespectful for you to come in here to the Oval Office in the United States and disrespect President Trump without saying thank you," which to me came as kind of a surprise because throughout the conversation, President Zelenskyy had been saying thank you. His first words to President Trump in that meeting were, "Thank you so much, Mr. President. Thank you for this invitation." So it was confusing what Vice President Vance was talking about, but then it just sort of snowballed from there. And President Trump jumped in. President Zelenskyy at different points seemed to sort of try to calm the tone of the conversation and bring it back. But once it took off, it really took off. And then President Trump was saying, don't tell us how we're going to feel. And, you really need us. We hold all the cards, or you don't have any cards. And then there's this really incredible moment, I thought, where the Ukrainian President Zelenskyy said, "I'm not playing cards." And so this all went on for about 10 minutes until finally President Trump was like, "Okay, we've had enough."
So one of when any foreign leader comes in, foreign media follows, right? It doesn't matter what country they represent, but you get foreign media. The media traveling with Zelenskyy today, I imagine they have a much different view of all this. I don't know if you got to speak to any of them or sort of what the feeling was.
Yeah, I didn't get to speak with Ukrainian journalists in particular, but I will say that as soon as we left the Oval Office, hearing from all of the foreign media around me, immediately calling back to their newsrooms and getting on the phone, and it was just like a torrent of foreign languages around me as everyone was trying to report back because, as you know, this has so much import, not just for Ukraine, but really for the rest of Europe and for the dynamic of world relations.
Faith Pinhu had a front row seat. She's with the LA Times inside the Oval today. Hope you took some. Did you get some good pictures? You get some good video at least?
I did, yes.
Thank
you.
Hold on to it. I know you will. Faith, thanks for being with us tonight on a whirlwind day for you. Appreciate it. Faith Pinhu. Thank you for watching. And make sure you go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.